Hey, it's me, Renee. I'm back. And now, you might be thinking, what's with your hair? It's that way? Like, why is it like that? Seems a bit silly. Yeah, I'm miffed right now. I'm kind of miffed. Well, right now, I suppose this is kind of bits for my video. But yeah, so, what's happening lately in the world? Well, I mean, you have Orange Dude going around being stupid. You have Israel still being stupid. And then recently also you have the Hunger Games book, or the recent one, the Sunrise of Reaping, which has been what everyone has been talking about in the book community. And I'm just here kind of thinking, I don't care. I seem to be one of the few people who don't care. Cause spoiler alert or unpopular opinion that I have is Hunger Games. Never been my jam. I've never really been one for it. I I've never been one that always reads the popular book. I read like all the books. Though sometimes I read books because everyone's talking about it. I might check it out and see what it's all about. Uh, so I did pick up Hunger Games when it was out the first time, like the first original trilogy, and I liked it enough, but I kind of thought it was too violent, which I suppose, I mean, it's kind of in the title. It's Hunger Games. In Norwegian, it's called the Death Games. You fight until the death. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of right there. You kind of know from the get go it's gonna get violent. But yeah, I never really got that into it. I have actually, actually never been that into dystopians, which I mean, at one point in time, you have had all the dystopians. You had Divergent, Hunger Games, you had The Selection, all of those. And I suppose The Selection I liked kind of, but honestly, none of them have been my jam. Yeah, I like books, obviously. I like to escape. I love fantasy books. But I feel like with me, often dystopian are all. I mean, it's kind of a name. It's kind of based like it's always often it's based on a like the idea behind dystopians is like this big, sad, bad government, and then you have to take down government. And like in fantasy books, you have villains, yes, but it's rarely the whole world that's a villain. And in dystopian, often the whole world is a villain. The whole system is a villain. And yeah, I've never really been that into it really. Sue me. But so what has been happening this few years, these last few years is that well, it's now been 5 years, 6 years. Uh, it's been some years since we had Susan Collins' last book, which was, and I'm blacking out, but yeah, that was the other book. That was yeah, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, which was a snow prequel, kind of weird thing to do a book about, but it was what it was. And then you recently had this new book, Sunrise of the Reaping. So yeah, Suzanne Collins has. I mean, people sometimes saying that she only comes out with books when she has something to say, and I'm like, she has a middle grade trilogy, so it's not like she has only the Hunger Games books. But I know what you're thinking about. Like mainly her bread and butter, her main thing that she writes is Hunger Games books. And I mean, the Hunger Games came out originally in the 2010s. The first one probably came like 2010, 2011, and then yeah, they came in like around the time. So it's kind of going back to the mind of books she started 10 years ago. Which I'm not saying you can't go back to write something more in the universe that you started. I'm all for that. What I am saying is why? Why? Emphasis. Why? Is it only Susan Collins who's doing this? Okay, yeah, there's been other authors who's kind of going back to their classic, their beloved series. Meg Cabot has Princess Diaries book as an adult. It's called Princess Wedding, Big Wedding. Yeah, something wedding. It's where uh, it's when Mia gets married, and then she also has a sequel book for Suzanne Simon. That one was not that good at all. And yeah, also she actually has two adult books for Mia, Princess Mia. But honestly, other than Meg Cabot, I can't really think of anyone else. Uh, and also, I've been realizing that giving you kind of the uh, wrong concept for this video. This video is not about going back to a finished series. No, it's worse. This is me being salty and here with all the tea. The tea is here for a reason. Underlining. I'm salty. I'm giving you the tea from me. That there are actually some authors that started series and then for a reason they haven't finished them. So yeah, that annoys me. So I'm not going to tag them, the authors, because I mean this is a salty video. I do understand that sometimes you have to go where the money goes and you have to do different stuff, blah 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 blah. But me as a fan, I'm miffed and annoyed. And I suppose if any of these authors watch my video without like just stumbling across it, and you think, you know what, I should really do that, cool. But this is mainly like towards the fans of me, of me, my fans, towards the people who like silliness. Uh, so yeah, this is not meant really for authors really. But if any of them see this, cool, please write these books, please, please. Okay, so first we have The Uncommon Criminals by Ali Carter. And now I have the first book here. I got it from the library. It's in Norwegian. But it's I have to double check. No, sorry. It's High Society. So High Society is Ali Carter's non-spy series because she's very much famous for her. She has like a spy series with like six books, I believe, and I think there's also a novella. That one's wrapped up and all and cool. I'm not sure actually I ever finished that one. I like that one. Honestly, I love this one. This series is all about teens who are also thieves who do heists because reasons. Of course, they're Robin Hood. It's not like they're bad guys. I suppose some books are about people being bad. This is more like Robin Hood universe. Like they're stealing from idiots and they're stealing from bad people. It's not they're not heartless. Uh, but yeah, so far there's three books out in the series, and there used to be a page for the High Society 4 book on Goodreads. I'm pretty sure it was announced that a fourth book was coming, and nothing has happened. This book came out in, I want to say 2011, could be 2010. And as I said, there's been three books in this series so far. So probably the third one probably came out in 2012, I want to say. There's been talks about a fourth book. Have we have gotten any like confirmation or anything that's happened with it? Nope, nothing. I suppose the idea here is that maybe Goodreads put up a fourth book on Goodreads because they just kind of assumed sometimes they put pages on where it's not like more. But also, I read the third book, and it's not really ended. Like it feels like a place that could a series that could be continued. It's not like the third book is like, and they live happily ever after. Nothing needed to be done anymore. No, there's more to be. No more stories to be told. And I want more here. I want more. Also, like this has one of my favorite, honestly, my favorite tropes, which is where one of the main characters goes by his last name, and we only know the first letter of his first name, which is W. We don't know what it stands for, or supposedly he just Catherine gives him guesses that he only says no. I suppose he could be saying no when it's yes, but like it's not William, it's not Wilbur, it's not none of those easy questions. So it's like also W, like how many names are there starting with W? We don't know. But yeah, honestly, I want more. I want more, Ali. Also, our listener recently read a book by you, Ali Carter. So it's not like you're dead. You're still alive. You could write more. Please go back to this book. I have emotions, feelings. I know, but yeah, I love this series. I think I might probably reread it, but yeah, love it so much. Maybe I'll you and then let's get to our next one because yes, there's several authors who's done this not finishing series, which like why? Why? I mean, could understand if the series isn't like a very famous, it isn't selling lots of books. This series had three books, and I'm pretty sure it was a big seller. I don't really know what happened. It seemed it seemed quite weird. And also any of these authors did that interview and said like, you know what? Once upon a time, I thought about writing more in this series, and they said I'm not going to do it. If they say that in an interview, cool. But right now, it's just up in the open, up out in the air. We don't know. Like it's not mentioned. It's not. It's not talked about, and I don't like it. Also, you could say, yeah, but like, what if the publishers just don't want this series anymore because of X, Y, and Z reasons? Yeah, but like nowadays, you can publish things yourself, like self-publish. That's a thing people do. You could try to go to a different publisher. So honestly, I'm not having that excuse. I'm not having it. I'm not. No, not at all. But yeah, the next book is me coughing. The Dark Days series by Justina Cadro. Sorry, the Dark Agency series. This has two books out. It's been talked about as a trilogy. I remember reading interviews about this one when the first book came out, and she talked about like, yes, this is a trilogy. Like, think Veronica Mars, but with fantasy elements, and that's exactly what it is. We have two books out right now, and the third book, where is it? I'm not seeing it anywhere. And yeah, I'm annoyed. Just Akaro, what are you doing? I'm actually not quite sure what she's just doing now. No, I mean she hasn't like become the next Stephen King, but she's not dead. So like even if she changed careers, please give us the last book. I mean, this is like when you say it's a trilogy and you just give us two books. Why? Why? Why are you doing that? Why? 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 Uh, it's weird, okay? It is weird, I believe. Then we have actually a series where we might get a continuation because I've heard rumblings, rumors that we might get more. So hopefully. But and it is the last book in the Time Warper series by Peggy Martinez. She has three books out, and this is the third book out so far. And honestly, like here, honestly, in my head, the first book and the second book, you could have ended it. You didn't really have to write a third book. But the third book and the third book ended on a banger. It on a cliffhanger. And then you didn't give us more. Like, why? 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 Uh, this is just mean. I heard someplace that Peggy Martinez has recently done like Gilmore Girls um, fan merchandise online, so that and stuff, and that's, I mean, cool. I love the Gilmore Girls, but please give us an ending, please, Peggy, please, pretty please. Put sugar on top. Yeah. Hmm. And then with this last one, I've heard that there's been kind of talks because, yes, again, it was supposed to be a trilogy, and then I think honestly here, like the publisher was more like didn't want to write the whole thing, or didn't want to publish the whole thing, and the author is still writing books, but now much more for adults and whatnot. But again, I mean, even if you start to write something different than you did before, you can always go back and like go write something that you honestly. This is just so cool. I just love this world, and it's just, and also I love this book. So I want the last two books. You don't need to write 1,000 more books, but like, give me two more books, please. Honestly, yeah. I'm like, when you first say you're writing a trilogy, you just give us a trilogy, okay? No matter what, you give us a trilogy. So, yeah, the book here in question is School Spirits by Rachel Hawkins. So, this is actually a bonus book. It's beginning, supposed to be a beginning of sequel to a sequel series, spin-off series to Hexall. Hexall is something. It's finished. There's no doubt there. This is a spin-off book, and also it ends with unanswered questions. So we know you could have more stuff to write in book 2 or 3, and yet it hasn't happened. Rachel, I know you're writing as Aaron Sterling nowadays, and you're writing adult romance books, and you're writing adult mystery. But please, could you just go take a trip down memory lane, please, please. Yeah. So this has been my video of that is, and yeah. If you have any books you want to rant about in the comments where you want a sequel that hasn't showed up, if you read any of these, please moan about them not having sequels with me. And yeah. And also I feel a bit mean posting this when I'm doing it, which is on Friday, starting the weekend with me just being negative Nancy. But yeah, I'm gonna post it on Friday. So yeah, I suppose Friday's the beginning of weekend. So like Saturday, like Friday, you take away, you finish your moping about, being mad, angry. Not that you can't be angry whenever, but yeah. And then Saturday, you can just enjoy life, enjoy the good things. So yeah, maybe I can think like that. That I have to moan before I can enjoy myself. Let's say it's that. So yeah, have a nice weekend.